think that's one of the wonderful things about the Catholic priesthood, is that people take us and make us really part of their lives. You know, they welcome us into their lives in the joyful moments at weddings and baptisms, first communions, all those things. They're part of people's lives. Then also the moments when there's lots of trial and sorrow and sickness and death.
So being able to walk with people of all different kinds, of all different stages of life, through sometimes the most difficult moments in life and also the most joyous moments in life. As a priest, you're part of it all.
The priesthood really calls on the full spectrum of what it means to be human, all of the emotions, all of the experiences, the ups and the downs of life.
I love celebrating the sacraments. One of my joys is still celebrating Mass. To be there and to speak those words of Christ is always a privilege, and I never get tired, never get bored of celebrating Mass.
We need to keep reminding ourselves of what it is that we're actually doing when we celebrate the Eucharist. For me, it's been at the heart of my priestly life. It's certainly at the heart of my spirituality, and it's one of the greatest joys I think that a priest can have.
I think a particular joy is celebrating the sacrament of penance, sacrament of reconciliation. It's a very great privilege to be a priest, to be able to hear people's pains and sufferings and hear people's sinfulness and guilt, but be able to bring God's peace to them through that sacrament.
Sometimes you do feel very privileged as a priest to be a witness of that, to be able to see that for yourself and to be with people in those very powerful spiritual moments.
Just seeing the fruitfulness of the power of God through the sacraments to affect change in the lives of people and to bring out all the fruits of the Holy Spirit in the lives of the people you're called to serve is a wonderful encouragement, a wonderful consolation.
With the joys come the sorrows and the challenges as well. I think it was never meant to be anything any other way. If we choose to follow Christ, then we have to be ready to embrace the cross, to follow Him to Calvary and the resurrection. But I think that mirrors in the life of the priest as well. There are many challenges, and Jesus never said it was going to be otherwise.
And I think one of the trials of priesthood is realizing that you can't solve every problem. You can't make things right lots of the time. All you can do is be there for people.
Now, when I started working in the parish, I realized that I was no longer working with papers. I was no longer with the theoretical part of my pastoral work, but I was working with concrete people.
I mean, I've always been a very private, shy, almost a recluse. But the priesthood propels you into this public arena. Overnight, after your ordination, you become this public figure. Suddenly, you are surrounded by hundreds of people who embrace you as their shepherd. And it is something that takes time for any priest to adjust to.
And there's lots of things in parish life like the finances and maintenance, and you don't get prepared for all that in seminary, and you don't think about it as part of parish ministry. But it is parish ministry. It's part of the nitty-gritty of looking after the community.
I think being a priest today is tough because we are called to be those virtuous, heroic, sacrificing men and fathers on behalf of our families, on behalf of the people that are entrusted to us. And that means constantly setting aside our needs in order to meet the needs of others that come to us.
And as the Archbishop would say, we are being called to walk in the footsteps of the Good Shepherd. And that's a big challenge for any priest.
And you go home at the end of the day, and hopefully we all do this, you sit and reflect a little on what has happened in the course of the day, and you can be kind of overwhelmed at the ways in which the Lord has worked through you to be a part of people's lives.
I don't merit to be a priest when I look back my past life, but to see myself a priest today, and I could do this ministry, a service to the people, it gives me a lot of joy.
The priesthood is something that I think someone could never be bored in. There's always something new and fresh and challenging.
It can leave you very humbled, I think. It can leave you exhausted sometimes, but it can also leave you with a deep sense of gratitude to God that He has called you to this and has chosen you and wants to work through you to be present to His people. It's a wonderful thing.